Hello, this is Nagina Abdullah, and I am here with MCJJ Midlife Conversations. I am so excited today to bring on our amazing chapter president, Judy-Ann Hargrove, who's going to be talking about her experience. We're going to be exchanging stories and really sharing just what we're going through. To give you a little bit of background on myself, I have a health coaching company for women that are in midlife. I have personally been going through midlife and have been facing so many symptoms and found so many solutions on my own. And these conversations are really enlightening so that we can all understand what other people are going through, that we're not in this alone, and also get ideas about what we can do to keep feeling better and moving forward in the direction that we want to. So, CP Judy-Ann, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. I would love for you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your career, your what you do, and then
Mhm.
we're going to jump into a really great conversation.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. So let's see. My name is Judy-Ann Hargrove. I am 50 years old. So yay, milestone.
Awesome. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Recent
Thank you. Thank
birthday.
you. And let's see. I have three kids. I have a child, Ethan, age 23, Olivia, age 20, and Grant, age 14. I think I have them all right. And I've been married to Brian Hargrove for 26 years. This September will be 27. So
Wow.
it's been a minute. And let's see, what do I do for a living? So my background is marketing advertising. So I do brand management and I also do a lot of cause marketing. So that's why you all see so many lovely images and all our social media posts, because that to me is like basic 101. So that's my love and that's my joy. So um, that's it, really. Let's see. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So, yay. I was actually the former chapter editor there before I became VP of MCJJ. So, at that time, it was interesting because I kept the role when I was VP for MCJJ. So, I was trying to balance both at the same time. And I actually did. Not sure how I did that, but I actually did. And then it was actually funny when I became president of Jack Morris County chapter. My chapter president for AKA. She's like, Judy-Ann, can you stay on as chapter editor? No, I cannot stay on as chapter editor because I have barely enough time to just look about life, myself, family, kids, etc., work. So, I do what I can, but it's been a very interesting journey so far.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And a lot of these things that you're sharing that you do, you're so involved. And also, being a mom on its own takes so much. And
Mm-hmm.
then working and then being part of being a leader in multiple organizations. Now, this is really going to come into play as we start talking about your experience in midlife and
Mm-hmm.
how many things we're able to take on and carry on. I want to first start off by asking you a little bit about like, tell me how have you been feeling recently? Like, say in the last several years, maybe your mid 40s till where
Mm-hmm.
you are now. How have you been feeling, and like, what do you feel like has changed for you from where you were before?
Oh, wow. Okay. I should share some pictures with you. Um, in regards to how I feel. I s- I do have a lot of energy, but it's not the same type of energy where I'm not moving as much as I used to. So, I would say like literally, I think after I had Grant, my youngest, because I think I was 37 when I had him. Yeah, 37, 38. And after that, like my body totally changed. Like, beforehand, I never had to work on my metabolism. I was telling you this, like most of my life until probably COVID, I was like a size 2, 0. And I think I kind of let myself go after that. I used to run quite a bit. And we mentioned this earlier where I would run literally like maybe 6 miles a day every day. I was obsessed. Could be rain, snow, whatever. I was out there and I did a couple of 5Ks. I did some half marathons and then got injured. And after that, I was afraid to run again because my knee was really bad, ended up in the ER. So that wasn't fun. And and then my weight kind of fluctuated back and forth. So like literally my closet is full of every single size you can think of, from like a size like literally I can't wear like 90% of the clothes in my closet. And that's fine. I mean, I don't expect to get back to that particular size, but I do think obviously that I need to work on my um I would say I it's interesting because I don't eat a lot and I was telling you that I cook all the time. So I cook really healthy. I cook really well. I like to say that. But I don't know. It could be like, one or two glasses of wine too many. I mean, I have no idea. And my body just doesn't metabolize the same way. Um, no, I use like, especially when the weather is like how it is now with the snow, I don't want to go outside, so I don't want to walk. Which during the summer times that, I'll walk like maybe 15 to 20 minutes a day, the very least. Brian and I always have our daily walks, which is really nice. Um, and then as you said, I'm busy. Like I'm doing so much with so many things and just it's hard to keep focus. My bandwidth is everywhere. So you know what, I guess I just need to prioritize time and actually go. Other than the walks too, we used to go to the Y like at least 3 times a week and do exercise. Simple things, treadmill. I would run like maybe 2 or 3 miles, light weights, and then that's about it. I don't know. I mean, that's basically how, what life, and then there's been a lot that's happened, like, in the last year, especially. I was doing really, really well, around, gosh, January of last year. Then my dad got very, 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 very sick. So literally I disappeared. Like the chapter didn't see me, oh gosh, for a couple of months because I was back and forth between Florida and here. Um, it was about when we had the hats off to her ball, and I came back for that. Um, and I mean, and I was still doing that. I was working in the hospital doing all my MCJJ stuff and life stuff, and I think during that time, I just didn't have time to concentrate really on myself, and because after hats off to her, my dad passed away a week later, so then I was gone again, and then just trying to get a hold of everything. So there's been a lot that's happened, especially in the last year as opposed to the last few years. But you know, one day at a time, and I'm trying to get through it.
Yes, I'm so sorry to hear about your father. And I met you for the
Thank
first
you.
time at Hats Off to
You
Her.
did. You
And you
did.
just seemed so welcoming, and I would have not even known anything was happening,
I
so we
remember
were,
you in your cute black dress.
oh, my first event that I got to come
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so
So,
nice to meet
so
you then.
there's definitely so much that you've been doing, like so much
Hmm.
that has happened to you that have, and this is the it's like now it's like this is a time that is
Hmm.
described as like we're the sandwich generation. You're taking care of kids, but then
Hmm.
also your parents, and then things that
Hmm.
are happening.
Hmm.
And so okay, so throughout the last year and maybe a little
Hmm.
bit longer, you feel like and maybe since COVID, even you said that like since your knee
Yes.
started affecting you, that you're not able to get as much exercise, you're not able to run like you were.
Hmm.
So what else do you feel like has changed in your body? Like, how do you feel different? I know that you had mentioned something about feeling a certain temperature.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm always hot, like burning up, like literally, I'm always hot. My poor household because I usually have the fan going. I'm, everyone else is in hoodies. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, night sweats. I'm like drenched. Yeah, I'm always hot. I mean, it could be anywhere, and I'm burning up, and I'm always complaining while everyone else is all like, "No, it's great in here." I'm like, "No, it's hot." So, part of that also. So. Um, and I do need to go to the doctor a lot more. And I think I was saying this. And I've had some moms reach out to me. They're so lovely and so fabulous. And they're like, Judy-Ann, we'll go to the doctor with you so you can get this checkup or that checkup. And I'm like, okay. And then I back out. And then I'm like, keep trying with me. I'm stubborn. I'm a very stubborn individual. So it's hard to convince me of something if I don't want to do it. But they keep trying. My husband's the same way. I'll go to the doctor with you. I don't know. I think I'm a hypochondriac, like seriously, like if you talk to some of our other fellow moms who know me really well, I mean, I think I have every ailment in the world. And, if I get a mosquito bite, that's like the end of the world. And I think, I have some kind of contagious disease. I have some oddities about me. So
Oh my gosh. So well, yeah, so you feel
yeah.
like you should be going to the doctor more, but you're feeling like, so you're feeling that heat, like you're feeling just hot like throughout the
Hmm.
day and
Yes.
throughout the day also, and also at night, or is it like
Oh, nighttime is the worst. Like literally, bed sheets have to be changed. That's a lot of info, but that's fine.
Mhm.
Um, but I am always burning up. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I assume that's a symptom of, midlife, which is so weird
Yes.
to say midlife. I mean, who thought?
Yes. Well, I definitely identify. I get really hot at night to the point
Hmm.
it's been like 8 degrees, at night recently. It's
Yeah.
been really cold. And then I turn the fan on in our room and my husband's like, Nikina, it's so cold. Why do you need the fan? And it's just a certain time of the night I get really hot.
Yeah.
And so, it doesn't even matter about the temperature outside because I'm still feeling that need for like wind or a fan or something like that. But this is definitely, it is definitely a symptom of going through perimenopause and menopause because
Hmm.
as estrogen declines, it was protecting us from so many
Hmm.
things. And so
Hmm.
a lot of it is like even temperature regulation,
Hmm.
inflammation. So a
Hmm.
lot of the things that you may be feeling and it may have helped you in terms of running, but
Hmm.
also we're getting more inflammation that we didn't used to have because estrogen used to fight that. So now
Hmm.
is allowed to come out because we don't have something to suppress that as much.
Okay.
So there's more of that. And then one other thing that's happening also is that we're putting on weight more quickly because of
Hmm.
insulin resistance, which means when you eat foods that you were perfectly able to digest nicely before, they break down very quickly to sugars and your body's not responding to insulin as quickly. And so your blood sugar is just naturally higher. And so
Okay.
it really makes a difference about how we eat, like eating foods that either have less sugar
Hmm.
or combining carbs and combining sugars with protein so that they don't digest as quickly and spike our blood sugar. So there are definitely things that are happening because I know that you have had a lot going on, and
Hmm.
that's definitely a lot of it because even the stress that we feel during this time, we are not able to handle it as much because estrogen actually helped us keep our cortisol lower. And so now our cortisol spikes more quickly, we get more stressed, and that causes us to gain weight. It causes us to feel all of these changes. So,
Hmm.
one of the things I want to share really is that you have a lot going on, but also your body is changing. And so it's not like you're doing things wrong. Your body is
Hmm.
actually changing. And so it's like learning how to work with this changing body because you still can feel good. But definitely all these things, they can start to happen, but you can also start to realize it and like as you are, and then start to take steps. So what do you feel like for you? I know that you have some things that you want to do to get back to feeling like yourself. Like, and would you even say like that you would like to feel like yourself, like that you like feel different than you did before? Like, would you say that about how you're feeling right now?
When you say feel different, like feel about my physical self or just like mentally?
Everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would say I feel different physically. Um, Mentally, I feel different as well, not as much as I do in terms of like my physical body.
Hmm. Hmm.
Obviously, mentally with all the life things that I just said, and my mom's still in Florida and trying to. So as you were talking about earlier with that sandwich generation, and then have grown adult children who have their own needs as well as I say my baby, my 14-year-old. So it's and then I'm married, so there's just so many thing. So yes, the answer would be yes.
So yes,
To boil it
so
down.
yes, so definitely more physically for you, but there's also like other things too, but
Yeah.
more like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you
Yeah.
feel like is getting in the way of getting back to, feeling like yourself physically? Like let's focus on
I
that.
that's a very good question because I do get into modes. I get into like exercise and health mode where like I'm all gung ho. Like I forget the name of the app that I used to use to count calories every single day, where you punch in what you oh my gosh, I forget
Like
the name
My
of it.
Fitness Pal or
Yeah,
Chronometer or My Fitness Pal.
I think it was my fitness pal that I used
Mhm.
to use all the time. And I would literally plug in every single meal or snack or anything. And I would try to keep my calories like at 1200. Um, uh, and then, I would track my walking. So, I'm going to walk, the 10,000 steps today, even though I know you don't really have to do that. And then, my water, my 64 ounces of water. I mean, and I can do this for months. And when I do that, I'm on a really good path. But then I get distracted. Um, and Or if I even if I go, so I'll have like a target in mind, like I have a date. A date always helps me. Like if I have like an event or something, oh, I got to look great for this event. So this is what I'll do in between. And then maybe if the date passes or I get distracted, like if we go on vacation or do something like that, then, I might circle back to my old habits of not plugging
Mhm.
in everything. And I do agree with the food aspect of, different types of food. Again, you know, I was telling you this that, I'm I'm West Indian, so like we have to have rice every day with every meal, just depending. I did make a lasagna meal yesterday, so that's different. Um,
Mhm.
so that's a big part. And sometimes I'll try to substitute the white rice or jasmine rice for like a brown rice, and that doesn't go over well in the house. So it just depends. Like if I go on a diet, that means the entire house is on a diet because I get very particular about my food and how it's done and what I'm
Mhm.
eating. And I used to weigh everything too. I mean, that's how crazy I would weigh like the ounces, um, just to make sure that it was the correct amount of calories that I was eating. Count out my chips. I mean, I was a healthy eater and I was fine. Like there wasn't anything mental, but that's what I would do
Mhm.
to make sure I was eating
Mhm.
correctly. And I think working from home doesn't help as much because when I was in the office on a daily basis was easier because I could manage like what I brought to work and as opposed to being at home and just eating. But I really literally like I'll have breakfast this morning and I won't eat again until this evening, which is probably isn't good.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
if I eat breakfast,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So it just
Yeah.
depends.
So, well, I mean, okay, so there's things that could work for you, but like,
Hmm.
so what do you feel like could motivate you to get going with that? Like if you know that tracking food helps you and you've seen
Hmm.
results with that in the past, but you
Hmm.
know that maybe you get off track, like when you want
Yeah.
to do certain big things, you're aware of that, but at
Yeah.
least getting going on that.
That's a good question.
Would
Because I'm
that
always envious when people can sustain things over years. I'm like, oh my God, because I get distracted. Because my head is always doing stuff. I get distracted so easily.
Well, so yeah, so one of the things like that so you're saying so many things that are
Hmm.
great and that will
Hmm.
definitely work, but then it's kind of like I can see that it's like to get started on that because maybe you know that you're not going to stay, keep it up. So
Hmm.
like, one thing to just think about is at this point of life, it's much more about a lifestyle versus a diet. Because
Agreed.
when you diet, you just it's too much. Like our body, like we don't I feel like it's not fun to say I'm going to deprive myself, I'm going to restrict
Hmm.
myself, I'm going to count calories. It's just like a big effort, and yes, it
Hmm.
can work, it definitely can work, but then sounds like for you you also are realizing you're not going to stick to it. And
I
so
do.
like what's the point of doing something if it's going to like come back on, or if you're not
That
going to
is
feel good
true.
again, right? So instead of like thinking of it as a diet or something you're doing temporarily, sometimes it's helpful to think about, okay, what can I do as a lifestyle? Let me take one step. Like one of
Hmm.
the things you're saying about you maybe not eating breakfast and then
Hmm.
skipping meals all the way to dinner. So
Hmm.
a big thing that happens in during this perimenopause, menopause, midlife time is our body needs more of the right foods. And if we
Yes.
deprive our body, it just starts shutting down and it starts holding weight. It's like in starvation mode and it doesn't have the nutrients that it
Okay.
needs to keep processing. So, like a kind of like thinking of a routine, like, okay, I'm going to have a breakfast every day that's going to be really easy. And then
Hmm.
I'm going to have a lunch already made in the fridge that I can just
Hmm.
pull out. Maybe it's leftovers from dinner the night
Hmm.
before. And then, you're having your dinner with your
Hmm.
family. Like
Yeah.
the thing is like giving ourselves food is a form of self-care at this time.
Hmm.
It's like a form of deprivation when we're not, and it doesn't
Yes.
help anymore. So though it did used to help, it did used to help
Hmm.
cut calories. It just doesn't
Yes.
anymore.
Yes.
So are like do you feel like thinking of things like in a way of a lifestyle could be, I mean, you'd have to like take steps every day, but then it wouldn't feel like so urgent or like stressful, but it would be
Hmm.
more longer term, it's like, okay, maybe you don't see all the results in 2 weeks, but you know that you're
Hmm.
doing things, to get there at some point. But I'm just trying to help you think through how could you, take these steps that you see have been working before.
No, I love the lifestyle idea and small steps, incremental steps. So I
Yeah.
think that sounds less stressful. And it sounds like it's something that's more achievable for me. So that
Yeah,
would work.
yes. Yeah, definitely. So you just have to have a reason to do it though, and it sounds
Hmm.
like, so those are just some things to consider. But so for you, do you feel like you have a lot going on in your life, but it
Hmm.
sounds like you're able to handle the stress in your life. Like, do you feel
I
like you
think
can?
so. Yeah, it depends. I'm very good at compartmentalizing, so which is actually really, really good. And even though, I mean, I could be stressed and I don't realize it because I enjoy doing everything that I do. So for me, all these things are really fun. I mean, as you can tell, I'm always doing this or doing that because to me, it's fun, it's exciting, and I love I just love all of the above. So I think I'm good at managing stress.
Okay, so then
Brian might
that's
say something
amazing.
different, but
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, so like that's really good. That's like you just know yourself,
Hmm.
know that you are enjoying all the
Hmm.
things that you're taking on and it's adding
Hmm.
to your life. And
Hmm.
so, that's beautiful. Like that's such a
Hmm.
great thing. So now like, thinking about like moving forward for you, what are,
Hmm.
just so we can have some like actionable takeaways, like what are
Okay.
like one or two things you feel like you want to do, or like it doesn't even have to be now. It could be like
Hmm.
later on this year
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
you feel like you might want to start doing, or that you're already doing, to kind of
Hmm.
move you in the direction that you want to go? Or do you feel like you're good? Do you feel like you're fine?
I think no, I think I definitely could do certain things. I do like the gradual steps. Now, what those gradual steps are two totally different things because I do because I do think that makes life a little bit simpler. Um, and it doesn't have to be like daily. It could be like weekly, or maybe this month I'll X this out, or I'll do this, and then just kind of make leaps from there. Um, I would say definitely maybe the small like having a small breakfast, you know put aside something for lunch because it
Hmm.
helps with the in between, and then dinner, and maybe like choosing, oh gosh, like I'm trying to think of different recipes because in terms of like what I'm preparing, because I'm preparing for everyone. And again, I'm particular, like I don't like certain, like I don't want Brian cooking, because no one's gonna eat it. Don't tell him I said that. um my daughter's an amazing cook, so between the two of us we can always figure out something really, really good and creative, and we have similar taste in food. Everyone else will eat whatever it is, so maybe just adjusting what's on the menu for dinner. Um, and I do drink a lot of water, but maybe increasing my water intake, and and maybe just taking some time out for myself. Like, maybe saying no once in a while, or turning my cell phone, which I have right here, over, putting down my computer, because I do get obsessed with doing certain things. So I know what type of personality I have. So just maybe taking a step back, relaxing,
Hmm.
and just have some me time, pick up a book. Like
Hmm.
literally, I'm about to go to the library and I'll probably like check out like 3 books and let's see if I read them, but I will go.
That's
So the intention's there,
awesome.
good intentions.
No, I love that. Those seem like
Yeah.
very doable, and
Hmm.
just like supporting who you are right now and just
Hmm.
supporting you into the future too. So, but without like doing this big effort, or
Hmm.
taking too much time from yourself, but just adding a few elements to your life. That sounds so great. And I'm going to be having some trainings around what to eat for breakfast, and around how to eat, and
Okay.
how to make it easy. So you can check some of those out. And I love it. I love it that, and thank you for, I mean, sharing how you're feeling, what you're going through, that you realize these changes. This is something can be a surprise, a big surprise at this time, of like what is changing, how
Hmm.
you're feeling, things like that people hear about, like hot flashes, like when it starts happening to you,
Hmm.
it's like it's so confusing. And then it's
It
more
really
than just
is.
that. It's more than
Hmm.
just the hot flashes. It's like the weight, the metabolism, the
Hmm.
other feelings. Like there's a lot of things, and everyone experiences this differently.
Hmm.
So So yeah, so I want to thank you so much, CP, for sharing,
Thank
for
you.
telling us about your journey, telling us where you're at. We're all trying to figure this out. This isn't something
Hmm.
that, we've figured out. There's not that much education around this, And so hearing your story is just very supportive to a lot of women that are also, maybe just entering this area this time or going through it and feeling like, oh my God, someone else is also feeling this.
Yeah. Well,
So
thank you. Well, thank you for giving your time and talent. This has been very insightful and exciting and fun. So
yeah.
it wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be.
Okay, good. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks so much, CP.
Thank you. Please take care and have a great day.
You too. Okay.
Thank you, Nikina.